goods aren't as fresh as they used to be. Mattie, you ready? Izzy asks as William, not Bill, pouted like a child. Absolutely. I got up from the table and beat a hasty exit. Not an easy task given the wide girth of my gown, the 2-foot wand I was carrying, and the crown that kept sliding off my head. I left Izzy, whose legs are only a third the length of mine, behind in my wake, along with several broken drink glasses my skirt knocked from tables as I passed. By the time Izzy caught up to me, I was standing next to his car in the parking lot, tapping my foot impatiently. "What's the rush?" he asked. "Afraid a house might drop on you?" "I'm Glinda the Good Witch," I reminded him. "Houses don't fall on Glinda." "Then why the big hurry? I haven't seen you run that fast for anything other than ice cream in a long time." "Very funny," I said, giving him a dirty look. I didn't want to give Dracula a chance to ask for my number again. Though I have to admit his costume was perfect, he spent our time together sucking the life out of me. I shook my head woefully. "I can't believe I let you talk me into dating that bozo. He has a comb-over, for Christ's sake. His only saving grace is that he's tall." This is actually an important asset for me. I hit the 6-foot mark at the age of 16, which made me a good foot taller than all of the boys for most of my high school years. That, combined with my ample bosom, made me very popular during the slow songs at school dances. Izzy opened his door, got in the car, and reached over to unlock my side. The car is a fully restored Impala from the 60s. No such thing as automatic locks. Unfortunately, there are no bucket seats either, which means I have to pretzel 6 feet of me into the same amount of space Izzy uses. I ripped the crown from my head and threw it and my wand into the back seat. Then I tried, unsuccessfully, to stuff the skirt of my gown down and around me. As we pulled out of the parking lot, I imagined it must look like a giant puffball was sitting in the passenger seat. "Give William a break," Izzy said as I spat taffeta. "So he's got a touch of OCD. What's the big deal? It's his attention to detail that makes him such an ace accountant." "A touch of OCD? I'll have you know he shot his cuffs at least 50 times, straightened the tablecloth a dozen times, and counted how many people were at the party every 10 minutes. I can't guess how many times he cleaned all the silverware on the table, and don't even get me started on the fangs." Izzy conceded with a sigh. "Okay, maybe he's a little anal retentive." "Doubt it," I snapped back. "He's got his head so far up his ass, there isn't room there for anything else. And just how old is he anyway?" "Late 40s, maybe early 50s. "That's a bit of a spread, don't you think? He's got to be at least 15 years older than me." "I'm 12 years older than Dom." "That's different, you're gay." "What's that got to do with it?" Izzy laughed. "Besides, it's not like you were looking for a serious date. You just wanted someone to tote along to make Hurley jealous." This was true. Steve Hurley is a tall, dark, and blissfully blue-eyed homicide detective that I've known for all of 3 weeks, ever since I became Izzy's assistant. For me, it was lust at first sight, which unfortunately occurred over Karen Owenby's freshly murdered body. Things kind of went downhill from there, particularly after I became a suspect in the case. Clearly, it was a wasted effort, I pouted. "Hey, it's not my fault Hurley didn't show up at the party." With that one sentence, Izzy shot straight to the heart of my misery. I sulked for the remainder of the journey, which was all of 3 minutes since Sorensen isn't a very big town. When we arrived at our destination, I unfolded myself from Izzy's car like a performer in Cirque du Soleil and stood a moment to let the blood flow back into my legs. Then I reached into the back seat and took out my processing kit. That's how I ended up here on the edges of suburbia, surrounded by bodies, on a Saturday night, dressed like a witch carrying a large tackle box. Chapter 2. Izzy and I pause long enough to don gloves and shoe covers. With that done, he grabs his camera while I take out the digital recorder he gave me a couple of weeks ago for documenting scene observations. I turn the recorder on and put it in voice activation mode. After trying to find a place on my outfit to clip it, I settle for sticking it down inside my cleavage, or what a boy in my high school geography class once dubbed the hot and gentle divide. Despite the darkness outside, the yard is brightly lit, thanks to Halloween spotlights and the flashing bars atop the cop cars parked in the driveway. At the foot of a huge oak tree off to my right,